here driving out to the Barnhardt Trail. This is a rather bumpy 4-mile dirt road. We're gonna do the Bar and Barnhardt Trail loop. We get on the back side of these peaks and are on the Arizona Trail for a little bit. It's about 15 miles with about 3,000 foot of total elevation gain. From some of the comments, I think this might be a little overgrown on the back side, so I have pants on. It's 48 degrees right now. All right, so we've reached the trailhead here. There's a handful of cars. We are going to be doing this loop clockwise, so up Y-bar, and then we'll come back down through this canyon, which will be the Barnhardt Trail. So the Y-bar sort of contours up and around, and eventually we hit up over a saddle and we'll get on the back side. There's some much higher peaks here, but this is pretty rocky and rugged from what I remember. I've done this before. I did the Horton Creek Trail for the first time the morning before I did this, and then did this on the way back. And I remember missing some of the Sixers Wizards playoff game in the first round series. But that was back in May of 2021, and it was hot, and now it's perfect weather. So you can already see the trail's pretty rocky, but I think, all right, so we've climbed up maybe, I don't know, 500-600 feet over, I don't know, a mile maybe. We're officially entering the Mazatzal wilderness in Tonto National Forest. So we're just gonna go in and out. We cross a bunch of drainages. Eventually we wrap around and get up a saddle, but that's still, you know, many 3-4 miles in front of us. We might have gone a mile and a half. We've probably gone more than a mile, and we probably have climbed more than 500, but not a ton of climbing. You know, it's been decent. It's just rocky, and this is the smoothest the trail's been that you see right now. Very rocky coming up, so hard to move too quickly. But now I think I can start at least jogging a little bit, taking care with the rocks. So anyway, I'll check in as I'm wrapping around and heading up. All sorts of cows on the trail. Uh-oh, stampede. There's a lot of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That guy's big. 5, 6. I passed a couple before. They're generally on the trail, but they do bolt when I get close to them. So I guess that works. So you can see, here's another major drainage we got to cross. There's the view down to where we came from. Somewhere down there, there's the Coconino Plateau, the Mogollon Rim, if you will. So making progress, dropping, but then have to gain on the other side of this drainage to get over this rib, and we'll have multiple drainage crossings like this. And so there you got a glimpse of our saddle. That's not the high point, it's a little bit beyond still, or it's back somewhere on the side, but that is most of our climb out of the way. We've crossed 3 or 4 drainages. We're about to eventually enter this one and get up to that saddle, so it feels perfect here in the sun, and the trail's becoming a little smoother, which is very nice. But awesome views out here. Nice trail now. I wish it were like this the whole way, which it won't be, but oh well. So we've hit this saddle up here. Unfortunately, there are no views because you're in the middle of like a manzanita little shrub forest, but it's pretty flat. So one of those peaks might be Mazatzal Peak. I'm not sure. I'm sure there are ways to get up there pretty easily, but I did not research, or else I would probably summit that. But yeah, nice wide summit. You can see looks like people probably camped here, fires, all that. But now it's gonna drop us down. We're gonna bend around to the right, but we're heading into the heart of the wilderness here on the Arizona Trail. We'll eventually meet up with the Arizona Trail somewhere. I don't know how long, a couple miles probably at least. So we got our main climb out of the way. There's ups and downs along the way and some little ups, but you know, we might have already climbed 2,000 out of our 3,000, if I had to guess, but not completely sure. So descending now, and I should be able to pick up the pace most of the rest of the way. I'm just walking now, but yeah, so other than cows, didn't see anything else. There's definitely cats out here. I just don't know where they are, but look at all this out here. It's awesome. All right, so we've wrapped around, come up slightly. This is almost like a second saddle, and we have a junction. So we are merging onto the Mazatzal Divide Trail number 23. We will have another climb of, I don't know, 300 feet or something at some point. So anyway, I was hoping that was all runnable. The problem is I was going up, so it wasn't that fast runnable, but now I think it should be easier. Pretty narrow trail, for sure. Some snow too. Awesome wilderness out here. So we're approaching our last little climb. It's actually not even, it might only be 200 feet. You can see the trail sloping up there, somewhere up on that top. I think might be the high point of the trail. I don't even know if we've dropped 200 feet since the last saddle. It's been pretty flat, but yeah, this is more or less, there might be some very little ones, but more or less our last sustained push of the trail, and we're not even halfway. So still no one. Beautiful day, maybe close to 6 miles in, not sure. So we've hit, I think, the Mazatzal Divide. You can see over to there. We are on the Arizona Trail. This is the Brody Seep Trail down there, but we are following the AZT. We'll keep banging rights. I think that red rock is where we go around. I'm not sure though. I don't think it's higher up here. I think we get to that red rock, and that's where we bend around. If you see the red rock way out there. So there's a lake out there. I wonder what lake that is. So we've hit another junction here. We're gonna bang a right on the Barnhardt Trail. I was completely wrong. We were not headed towards that red rock. That's on the other side of here. We banged more of a right, and we've stayed high. If anything, I think we have another climb. So we might have to get up around that shoulder somewhere. All right, so we crossed this drainage, but I'm pretty sure we still have another climb now to get up to this shoulder somewhere, or over there. I just don't know exactly where. We might be 8 miles in, but this is obviously, any drainage is going to be a relative low point. So it looks like we cross the main drainage right here, and then I think we have maybe 300 or 400 climbing in front of us. So this will be the last climb, I believe. All right, so we're finally hitting this last shoulder, I think, where you can see down to where we eventually need to go down in that valley, which is several thousand feet below us. But I think we're finally about hitting the high point here. Not sure if there's an official like point. It's gonna be sort of flat, and then eventually we'll start to drop around this corner, I believe. So I think we're like over 9 in, maybe approaching 9.5. So we still have, say, over 5 to get down. Yeah, So somewhere the trail is going to drop us down there somewhere. But you can see at least our end objective. You can't see the car, but I think we finally hit our high point. So one of these canyons has like a waterfall. I don't know if it'll be running. I will show it to you if it is running, obviously. So I do not remember if one of the waterfalls is here or not. This is definitely a drainage, so I'm just gonna go check it out. Obviously I don't hear a waterfall, so I'm guessing this is gonna be a bust. But wanted to at least check it out. I might have the wrong drainage where the waterfall actually is. So maybe if we peek around the corner, we can see. This looks like maybe it could be a waterfall. Sometimes right here, maybe. Yeah, definitely no water flowing now. I'm not sure if this is the spot though, but nice and cool in here for sure. I like these cactus that grow like in rock. So we're rounding this slick rock corner here. Where do we go? Up. All right, there's another major drainage over here. That could be the waterfall place, but either way, there's no water flowing. So it's a little chilly. My hands are cold. So we have a long way to go and zigzag down. We've only gone down, 200 or 300 feet, I would say. And we had at least 2,000 to drop down, maybe more. So we have a long way to go still. So this Barnhardt Trail basically just hugs these cliffs and comes down, and you can see we're following this sort of major drainage that all these side drainages go into, but you're basically near cliffs. I finally passed some people that were coming up. Barnhardt group of 5, I think they were all together. First people I've seen all day, 2/3 into the hike, or over 2/3 into the hike. So that's crazy for a beautiful Saturday. All right, it's still rocky. It's not a steep down, but it's definitely not easy to run on. So I did not pick the best trail to try to train for trail running. Oh well. Well, I was way off by my last estimate. We had a couple 100 yards to the parking lot. So I think something's off with the mileage. There's no way that was over 5 down from the high point. And judging by the time, definitely, I mean, that hike only took like 3.5 hours, and I was not moving that fast with the rocky terrain. So, just sprained my ankle when I got back to the car. So anyway, that was the Bar and Barnhardt loop. All Trails says 14.5. All Trails is notoriously wrong and inconsistent, so it might only be 12 or 13, but I don't know. I'll put it on the screen in the beginning.